worry-free, and enjoy more of what the world has to offer in this action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch.
So a little one-person trampoline. Very,
I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So,
good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Personal development, episode 247. 247, and I gotta say, I'm a little extra excited about not only today's topic on language and observation. We'll get into what that means here in a second, but I got 1,000 views on one of my short YouTube videos yesterday, and I hadn't done that before. So I think it just shows, and I've never been like the coolest person to walk the earth, popularity or big on social media. So it feels good to just staying consistent with what we're doing. And then hopefully more people will like our channel, more people will comment it and interact it. Because this is supposed to be, not only can other people learn and benefit from what we're doing here, but I also can get better at public speaking and blow up my brand and my business. So it's a win-win for everyone, I believe, and I hope we can continue to help. So this morning's episode, to get into it, we're going to be talking about language and observation. And I'm just going to be keeping it pretty casual, going through the banners, clip by clip. Oh, I actually have the wrong banner up literally right this second. I was getting so excited that I had the wrong topping up. But our heading is like this. The goal today is for us to know ourselves a little bit better, to understand ourselves a little bit better. And we're using some tools from psychiatry and from therapy. So psychiatrists and therapists, they use these two models to really try and understand their patients at a high level to be able to help people. And I am not a psychiatrist and I am not a therapist. I am a coach. There's some indistinct differences, but we're all in the goal of helping people, which is great. We just understand in the literature and from studies that how you speak, your language, and how language is beyond just words, how you hold yourself has a huge impact on your ability to have energy, to feel good, and then also being able to observe and understand that professionals use observation to watch you, your movements, how you act, because this is really what dictates who we are and how we show up. So if we get anything from today's episode, it would just be to make sure that we are comfortable, that we're giving ourselves proper language, positive language, like the words that we say to ourselves. It turns out it matters. And I'm not saying you got to say like, I am a champion, and be a robot 24/7, but also really trying to avoid just there being another version of ourselves laying on the ground and just over and over kicking ourselves in the stomach, berating ourselves with horrible thoughts and thinking the same negative thing 1,000 times a day. So being careful with the language that we use, not only for ourselves, but how are we speaking to other people? How are you speaking to your family? How are you speaking to your friends? How are you speaking to people you want to build a relationship with? And then becoming an observer for yourself to see like, okay, this is how this person's acting and getting on. So let's go ahead and take this a little chunk by chunk, but I wanted to give a little bit of a preview because a lot of our viewership's in the beginning of the video versus towards the end. Anyways, point number 1 for language, how language can impact us positively and negatively. So it's pretty wild that you can go from one mood to the next pretty quickly. on a dime, on a snap, where you can hear one thing from somebody in a positive light, like a compliment, and how it can make you feel lots of joy. And then you can also, in just as quick of a fashion, you can be told something negative about yourself, about what you do, about how you show up, and it can negatively impact who we are, how we show, and then we just feel like crap. So we understand how vital language is for how we feel, how we show up. Again, we have, if you like Mark Manson's definition, there's a million definitions of this, but Mark Manson has a good one for our brain that I like quite a bit. And it's like you have your feeling brain, and then you have your thinking brain. And then your feeling brain is in the driver's seat. So language that comes up logically has a huge impact on how we're feeling, and then our feelings and emotions dictate blah, 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 how we go on and act about our day. So we want to be really careful, and we want to come on this morning and maybe we start our day with some more positive language. What are some things that are going right in your life? What are some things? There's an exercise that I really like. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the board real quick. So you write to yourself. So this is a tool. This is a possible exercise that you could use for language. Write to yourself. And this could be with, so if you're writing to yourself, think of maybe like 2 years in the past. 2 years in the past is usually a good spot to be at. This isn't a lot of journal. If you go buy any type of planner, you talk to a lot of coaches, therapists, psychiatrists. Like if you go the 2-year model, it's usually pretty easy to envision for most people. 2 years and past. And then you're just listing out. The point of this exercise is just to list out and get positive language going into your mind about, okay, these are the things that are going right. We talk about living in the gap. Living in the gap is when I don't have that. I don't have enough money. I don't have a nice enough house. I don't have a nice enough car. I don't have enough friends. I don't have a hot enough girlfriend. I don't have this. All of these things that so many people talk about, that you're living in the gap versus the gain of, I have an amazing home. I have a wonderful, amazing girlfriend. I have something like a passion project. Man, having a number one goal just to me feels amazing. Absolutely love it. So maybe you're just writing about the things that you've had, and then this can help with language and just having positive language. And the things that you say to yourself does really matter, and just understanding this and applying this. And this takes practice. Like I'm going to have a negative thought probably in the next 30 minutes, and it's going to be harsh and it's not going to feel great. But the goal isn't to live this perfect Zen Buddha-like life. That's not my goal. It's to just have more enjoyment and less of the negative stuff. More of the positive, less of the negative. Negativity has its perks. I mean, humans have survived for this long for a reason. We're built to survive. We're not built to be happy. It's a classic Tony Robbins thing. But if we can just have better language, and if we can remind ourselves of all the good things that we do, the journey that we're on and where we're heading in life and all of the good that's around us, we can just live happier and better lives. And also maybe just using this not only for yourself, but if you interact with somebody, say hi to them, wave at them. And it's incredible to me just how much happiness I've gotten just from like waving to people like, hey, how you doing? Are you having a good day? And then having a smile on my face. I'm like, wow, life is really not that serious. And I feel really fucking good. So I've noticed for myself, trying to be intentionality, very, very important in life. If we can just be more intentional about the language that I'm using when I'm interacting, it just makes me a lot happier. So next point, number 2, going on to the next section, observation. So learning to observe ourselves and finding compassion. If you could go 10,000 feet, like once or twice a day, this is like a type of reflection more so. But psychiatrists and therapists use observation to help guide and support their patients to a higher quality of life. Or I'm sure there's some MD definition that is way better than mine, but that's to my best interpretation of it. It's like, okay, I'm using observation to help guide them to a higher quality of life. And I can do this for myself. I can step away for a second and observe what is going on. What is really going on with this person? If you could just detach from the emotion, from just you being trapped inside yourself for a second, go outside yourself and just kind of view yourself, whether you're sitting at in your office, whether you're at the gym, kind of just view what's really going on. What is this person doing? And I've noticed when I've become the observer, they talk about this in Buddhism quite a bit, becoming the observer of yourself. When I can watch that and I can do that, I can see like, holy crap, I'm doing all the things that I want to be doing. Like I take the time, I read every day, talking with my amazing girlfriend. It's like when I didn't have these things in my life, all I wanted was those things. And now I have them. And then I get sucked in the trap of wanting like money and more properties and stuff like that. So it's kind of like chasing the carrot on the stick or whatever. But if I can go outside of myself and really see what is going on, then I can focus so much more on the good, like we were talking about language, having more of the good and less of the bad, just to have higher quality of life. So I'm observing myself. I'm seeing what is really going on. And what is really going on is I'm trying to better myself and I'm trying to enjoy myself and kind of just seeing also really observing. It's like I am aging. Like this is right now is the healthiest, most youthful I will ever be. So trying to enjoy that a little more and be able to see that. But I wanted to bring that up on today's show because the observer, they talk about being the observer in spirituality quite a bit. It just makes it easier so you're not trapped in what Buddhism calls like the monkey mind. So thought here, thought there, all over the place, jumping all over the bed. But being the observer has helped me find more compassion for myself. I find, okay, I am doing this and I'm going about this. Maybe you can think about that when you're at work today or what you're getting your workout in or whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. You're becoming the observer, and this can help take away judgment or negative thoughts and some of the icky, heavy stuff that can linger in our brains to make our feeling brain start driving all over the road because the thinking brains has all of these random thoughts that don't matter and they're not true. Not true. And then our last point for today, this is how we will wrap it up. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for tuning into our show this morning. Remember, you are the result of what you learn, eat, and act upon. You are what you do. So if you want to become a historian, you should read a lot of history. If you want to be a good writer, you should write. That's Marcus Aurelius or Aristotle. It's one of the more famous philosophers. I'm tripped up. I can't remember who it was specifically. Either way, it makes so much sense. But you are what you do is my point. And if we can just come to peace with that, like, I don't need to save the world right now. So much of my pain and suffering is like, I'm just all riled up. Like, I got to do this right now, or I'm a failure. And it's like, okay, well, I'm working on this. So I'm giving my full attention to this. Like I'm giving my full attention to the show right here, right now, because I want to make it good. But I also want to read a big stack of books that I've gotten from the store the other day, but I'm not doing that right now. And that's okay. I'll get to that. And maybe we can apply that to more of our life, whether we're in our job right now and we're giving our time to that. And then I'm not worried about my health and fitness because I know I'm going to work out later. So I put that off to the side, not right now. But we understand what we take action on. If we do not take action, this is so undersold in, gosh, it's so tough because this is the piece. We're in the information age. So pretty much like I sell implementation. Like I'm guarantee you're going to take some action and you're going to get some stuff done, because I think that's where the real value is in the coaching marketplace right now. That's my personal opinion. Versus knowledge. I think you have enough knowledge to change your life in a dramatic way. It's just having the support and the environment to actually do that. So selling implementation. So acting upon what you learn. Are you doom scrolling on your phone? What is that teaching you? Are you distracted or are you educated? Understanding that we can become our biggest asset by just maybe reading a few books instead of watching TV shows. Maybe we are watching Andrew Huberman on YouTube. That dude's crazy, Stanford professor. He's got a bunch of great stuff. Highly recommend. I mean, if you're into fitness or nutrition or anything about like bettering your life, that dude's fantastic. But my point is absorbing better content for who it is you want to become, what it is that you want to do, and then we can kind of work backwards. Okay, what is the number one goal? I want to have this type of business. It's like, okay, if I seriously want to have this education company go to the moon, would it be a good idea for me to read books about coaching, for me to read stuff about history, about good leadership? Or would it be good for me to watch Netflix? So life's about balance, because right now I'm on day 65 without drinking alcohol. Day 65 without drinking alcohol. So pretty proud of that. I don't think I went a week without drinking booze like through high school and college and a couple years afterwards. So I'm excited about it. But being able to take things like that and understand like this action is going to put me on track for what it is that I truly want to do. If I eat good, healthy foods and I lift weights very consistently, I'm probably going to get jacked. I'm going to have a good physique, good, strong physique. I'm going to have a six-pack and all that good stuff. And it's like, that's what I want. Versus, okay, if I eat these types of foods, they will make me feel a certain way and this will happen. So everything has a trade-off, and I'm not totally against indulging. Like, I'm not going to quit drinking alcohol forever. I am definitely going to drink fine bourbons and nice Belgian beers and Spanish wines. Like, these are things that I genuinely want to do and want to taste. I'm willing to trade the effects of alcohol and my mood and my energy for small instance like a social beer. When I go visit my brother in Colorado or something, we're going to go to a brewery. And these are the times when I want to do that and I allow that in small increments. But when I'm at home and I'm working, it's like, that doesn't make sense for me. I can be way sharper, way better for the content we make, way better. So I'm hoping that these personal examples are just from my experience can be translated back to you. It's like, what do you really want? Like, man, if we can answer that question, I need to put that up on the banner. Maybe that's good for one of the comments today. Like, what do we really want? If you can answer this question, this is one of the hardest questions by a landslide. Like, what do we really want? If I want to be so we need to make a decision in the now and then say, I'm okay with committing to this. I'm okay with committing to working out 3 times a week. I'm okay to committing to not eating junk food for right now. I don't have to give this stuff up for the rest of my life. It's just right now, I understand that what I do has a dramatic impact on what results I'm going to get. So if we can come to peace with that and understand, like, pretty much everything can be enjoyable. Working out is enjoyable once you get some strength and you get some momentum going. It's just starting anything's a total bitch and it's a pain in the butt. Our bodies are going to be sore. There's like literally 1,000 different ways to exercise. Some people's joints are total trash. Some people's muscles in certain areas are rough. You might have to swim in a swimming pool. You might have to mix it up and get a personal trainer. You might have to have a coach, or you might have to pay for a membership to go to a gym. One of these things. I use the exercise example because I just haven't experienced anything like working out is a drug, and like what it does for your body and all these types of things. So if you're going to turn your life around, that would probably be a great basis if you need help with that. And then that can build into other things. Maybe it is your career that you want to focus on, and you're like, okay, if I read this, will this push me towards my goal, or will it pull me farther away? Will it push me towards my goal, or will it pull me farther away? Using the correct language to support ourselves and being the observer of what is really going on. So today's challenge would be to step back. Let's go ahead and get in the comments. Today's challenge is to step back. Step back, use your own interpretations of this, see what's going on. What areas do you need to do? It's usually one particular area for everyone, whether it's like my money, my health, my learning. It's usually a lot of people have like one crutch, and then if you unlock that, then you're able to explode into action, do a bunch of things. So be an investigator, be a detective for your own life, be honest with yourself, have some compassion. But that's all I had for today, everyone. Thanks for checking in. This was just some topics and some ideas to help with knowing yourself a little bit better, improving your language, being the observer. Let's have some self-compassion and try and enjoy the day. Cheers, friends. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Really appreciate it. We had a high number of people checking us out today, over 5 consistently throughout the whole episode. So really appreciate that. That helps my algorithm dramatically. So if you know anyone who's looking for more personal development content, make sure to tune in with us every weekday morning on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook Live. Additionally, our YouTube channel has a lot more content. We're trying to push a lot more content to that. So check me out at Talk to Tanner over at YouTube. But other than that, if you want to work with me one-on-one for coaching, I offer a 6-week life mastery course, 6 weeks one-on-one with me, mano a mano, where you're going to dive deep into yourself, understand what you want, where you're going, and get some real accountability and real coaching to improve and change your life. I promise to change people's lives in a dramatic fashion, or I will give you your money back. I have no problem with that. We've been seeing incredible results. And if you're interested in having a coach and supporting you on becoming a bigger rock star than you already are, then send me a direct message. Would love to make a relationship. Thanks, friends. That's all I have for today. Tomorrow, we will be live back here again at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time with another episode of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show. Cheers, friends. Have a great one. Watch your language. Be the observer, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, friends.